Stupid things Jory Micah says. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Stupid Things Jory Micah Says, live on YouTube. And I just realized that my camera is crooked and angled, and I'm just going to do this real quick. There we go. All right, live on YouTube, Stupid Things Jory Micah Says, and stupid things that podcast hosts do as they try to fix their camera. I am your host, Norm the Master's Dog Dunham, a.k.a. the Evangelical Norm. So this podcast is based in the aspect of answer a fool according to her folly. So, yes, I have been called contentious and pugnacious. Today, even more so. But the whole purpose of this podcast and others like it, the Stupid Things False Teachers Say, which is actually just the same podcast, it's just a slightly different title. And sometimes it's not all about Jory Micah. It's about Brandon Robertson and other... we'll keep the mean tweets to a minimum. So that is exactly what I do. It is because Jory is gaining more and more ground, I guess you could say. She's coming very close to achieving her goal of becoming the progressive Beth Moore. That may be redundant. And so I really do feel the need for public rebuke, actually public mocking, because this woman is a false teacher, a false prophet, a heretic, and, any other number of things we might say that we might call her. So that is the whole premise of this podcast, and today it is personal. It has gone beyond. You can come down. I have a couple of co-hosts that are going to join me for my podcast here today to kind of drive the point home of the personal nature of this tweet that Jory Micah decided to put out to the world. So here we go. And there's a whole long, this is an actual thread that we're going to continue on with. So, but we'll start out with the first tweet in the thread. White people who adopt, foster black and brown children are often, and then she tries to put in the parenthetical, not always, obviously is what she's trying to say, are often covertly racist, abusive, and problematic people who hide their white supremacy behind the perfect guise. But don't be fooled. Many believe they own these kids, I think is what she's trying to say, and will scapegoat them and make them work more. So this is, and I'm going to get into the rest of the tweet, but let me bring in my two little co-hosts here. This is my daughter, Opal, and over here we're going to try. This is live podcasting, y'all. This is like really live podcasting. So this is the fun stuff. This is my niece, Nayla. And you can't really see Opal because she's behind the mic and behind the tweet from Jory Micah. And now this is going to be even harder because now you got to get in here and get the slideshow. So let's just take a look at all of the tweets that she put in this thread. So, starting out, white people who adopt, foster black and brown children are often, not always, covertly racist, abusive, and problematic people who hide their white supremacy behind the perfect guise. But don't be fooled. Many believe they own in these kids, and will scapegoat them and make them work more than the white kids. I know a religious white woman, a narcissist to the highest degree, who would call her adopted black son the N-word. Subconsciously or consciously, many whites will adopt and foster black children because they want to enslave black people, and vulnerable children are easy prey. For this reason, I believe white folks who genuinely love black and brown children, who are often vulnerable within white supremacy system, will surround themselves with people of color to direct them, support them, and show them the way. They will often attend black churches, for example. Please keep an eye on white families who adopt or foster black or brown children. Some do it for the paycheck but don't spend the money on caring for the kids. Others dress their black children up and constantly make them perform for white society, often at white churches. So, and then she proceeds, so this is where I really started. I mean, I've had a problem with all of this, but a select few do a great job, but it is so rare. Don't be afraid to report any racism, discrimination, or abuse towards black or brown children adopted into white families. Be skeptical if these families are rarely connected to black-brown communities, no matter how nice they seem. And then she's going to get ratioed here a little bit. So let me bring this down, and then we will bring it back up when it's time for the ratio. But let me just talk about this and why I'm so irritated by this. And I'm not going to say the name of the podcast one another time because it's a bad word. So as you heard this one say in the introduction video. So here's the thing. This is my family that Jory's talking about. This is literally my family that she's addressing. And, and now here again, this is my niece. This is my beautiful little niece. And no, she's not adopted. But her mama is. Her mama was adopted by my wonderful white mother-in-law. And her mama is my amazing sister-in-law. And I've got three black brothers-in-law and another black sister-in-law who were all adopted by my wonderful white mother-in-law who has not an ounce of white supremacy or racism in her body. None. At all. And so here's the problem, Jory. Here's the problem with this little tweet is the fact that you broad brush and you talk about how it is so rare. It is not rare to see wonderful, great, loving white people who adopt African-American, black children of color, whatever, however you want to say it, black or brown children, however it is that you want to say it. And it is not rare that they do a good job. It is, I would say, probably the majority of them do so and do a wonderful job in raising these children. So here's a couple of just the little ratios that she gets in here as she and just the way she deflects on her answers to them. And yeah, I know today's podcast is going a little bit longer than normal, but I'll try to be quick. These two are please don't. I'm talking into that microphone. You can't put your hand on it. And these two are really losing their attention span. So here's one. Hi, adopted black woman here with wonderful white parents. We do exist, and there are many of us. Transracial adoptees, not only black or brown. While there are challenges and areas for growth, the hand of God is all over our stories and experiences. And then Jory deflects and says, that's wonderful, but I'm raising awareness for the kids suffering. Yeah, again, rather than admitting to the fact that you're wrong, Jory, and again, I'm telling you, all these things that Jory, all these tweets that she's throwing out here are Jory's Christian equivalent of I have black friends. Hi, Nate. I love you. And then the next one, and here we'll go. What evidence do you have to support this opinion? And she says, listening intently to black voices and experiences for a while, I will share more should I find a source. So she's saying she doesn't have a source. Literally, she's just making this up as she goes along. Same thing she does with God. But these stories are often hidden behind closed doors, and children who are abused like this will often keep it to themselves because people tend to downplay or not believe it. So, again, here we go with just the ridiculousness of what is Jory Micah and the stupid things that she says. And again, you know, is it probable to say that there are families that have adopted black children or children of color, black and brown children, who are supremacists and who are evil with intentions and so on? Absolutely. I have no problem. It's the broad brush that she paints everybody with, and the fact that it's like all about it's just all bad. It's all white people are just horrible. You've got a serious degree of self-hatred, Jory, that you really need to deal with. And at this point, I don't think therapy is going to help. White people are not horrible. Black people are not horrible. Brown people are not horrible. Yes, we're all totally depraved, and I am a Calvinist, and I do believe in total depravity. But to just blanket sweep an entire race is racist. So, Jory, everything you're doing is racist. To make these statements, to make the statements the way that you make them, is absolutely racist. Does it exist? I mean, yes, but not in the broad brush. And the fact that you ignore the people and deflect to the people that you have, and this is lovely. Now my phone is ringing. Live podcasting, y'all. To deflect on the things that people have said and not listen to the examples that have been given to you. Again, here you go. Here's a prime example. This beautiful little girl would not be here had her mama not been adopted by the family that adopted her. That just have and she's at no lack for learning black culture or any of the things. I mean, her mom, it's not like my mother-in-law was engrossed in the African-American community or went to a black church or any of these things, but it's not like there weren't influences on all of the kids that she adopted's lives that helped them to learn all kinds of cultures and all kinds of things. None of it was bad, but this one probably might not be here if it wasn't for the fact that her mama was adopted by some wonderful white people who loved her and took care of her and didn't abuse her and didn't make her work harder than the white kids and didn't do any of those things that you are insinuating most do. That's just ridiculous. And that's the, cover your ears, stupid things Jory Micah says. And it's just ridiculous. So, there you go. Beautiful family. Interracial, transracial, biracial, whatever racial you want. It's one racial, one human racial, multi-ethnic, beautiful family that I happen to belong to and love. And so you know what, Jory? When you make it personal like that, it's going to get personal. Gloves come off, and I ain't holding nothing back. And other than that, I don't have strong feelings about it. Mwah. Mwah. Thank you, girls. And as always, preach the gospel at all times. Use words because they're necessary. And until next time, Soli Deo Gloria.